What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for lineups.com. Another doubleheader here on a Monday night. If you're on the East Coast, go ahead and get that afternoon cup of coffee. I think it'll be perfectly fine, as this thing is going to kick off very late for you guys over there, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, for the second game here, the Texans and the Seahawks. And, of course, we have the earlier game between the Lions and the Bucs. There's an article from Noops talking about first touchdown scorers and things like that, anytime touchdowns as well. So go in, take advantage of that. This is the line we're currently looking at in these games. A reminder about those touchdown bets: if you haven't done so on MGM already, they give you the second chance offer over there. So if your guy actually scores second, you get your stake back from the first touchdown bet. So pretty interesting little deal, little wrinkle that they have over there at MGM. All right, so sitting here, 6 in favor of the Lions, 52.5. The total here in this one, if you think the Bucs went outright, plus 225. We got the Texans and the Seahawks. This is at the 3. Could be heading to 3.5. As you see, we got some juice going on here with this Seattle team. 41 the total. If you think the Texans went outright, plus 145. We'll take a look at this injury report for this first game, which is pretty massive. If you look over here on the Lions side of things, Kirby Joseph out, Avonte Maddox out, Terry Arnold out. Remember, Brian Branch is suspended. So what do you get here? 2 starting safeties and 2 starting corners out for this Lions team. Couple guys questionable, but you see here Decker, the one that we're really going to keep an eye on because it's never good to get downgraded to the DNP on the questionable here. So we'll take a look at him. Reader has kind of done this all for the last couple of weeks, which is just the DNP on the first day of practice, 2 LPs and then questionable and then plays. So expect him to be out there, but I mean, secondary is just annihilated here for the Detroit Lions. Now, the problem is on the Bucs side, they had a lot of stuff going on over there as well. So you see right here, Egbuka, hamstring injury, couple DNPs, a limited questionable. The word is that it is like less than a 50-50 that he goes. Mike Evans does the limited, does the DNP, then comes back to the full. Mike Evans is supposedly going to be a go. So he is kind of more in that 80-20 yes than no. Levante David is going to go after getting the full practice in, so good stuff for him there. However, you are down Chris Godwin. You are down Bucky Irving already. We know that without a question. And then the other thing is that it seems like Egbuka is not going to be out there. So that's kind of where we sit right now. Tons and tons of injuries here in this Lions and Bucs game. Injury report on the Seattle side of things, a little bit better for this team, and which is why, might push us to a bet, hint, 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 here on this, where we see Julian Love, 3 limiteds, word out of Seattle, he's going to go. Witherspoon, limited, and then 2 fulls, listed as questionable, he's going to go. Reek Woolen with absolutely no injury designation at all for him. None for Leonard Williams as well. DeMarcus Lawrence, you can see, unspecified as well for him. So this is as good as can be expected here for this Seattle team. On the Houston side of things, the only bummer is coming out of the bye for this team is Christian Kirk was not able to make it back from his hamstring injury. So he gave it a go, you can see right here, and then had the DNP and then got ruled out. So I thought we would be getting what this Texans team thought their offense was going to look like coming out of the bye at the beginning of the season. But that's not going to be the case because Christian Kirk cannot make it out there. So we'll go in here. We'll take a look. We'll start inside of this Bucs game. Listen, if this thing moves any more towards the Lions, I'm probably going to have to just play the Bucs on principle. Baker Mayfield is playing out of his mind right now. Just an absolute gangster out there, and it doesn't really matter who he's throwing to. That being said, getting Mike Evans back is huge, and then you have the both Johnsons and Kate Otten and stuff like that can help him out along the way. So really hard lean at 6, and certainly if this thing gets on the other side of 6, and if it gets to a touchdown, it's a slam dunk play obviously for me on the Bucs. But as good as the Lions offense is, their defense is going to get scored on as well. So just too many points, I think, in a game that could probably just be like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But the prop that I like the best here in this one Is Baker Mayfield at 245 on the over? This thing is getting, in my personal opinion, it is getting deflated a little bit too much because of the injury situation that we have with the wide receivers over there. But Baker getting Evans back, he has figured out how to use Cade Otton whenever he needs to. And then this, Tez Johnson, I imagine, is going to get a pretty decent role in this game if Egbuka is not able to go. Tez Johnson, whenever Egbuka went out last week, ran route on 89% of the snaps past that. So I think that he is a dude that is going to be utilized heavily here in this one. But the fact of the matter is just the secondary is absolutely decimated for the Lions. And so Baker's going to go out and be able to get it done with whoever it is out there. And so we're looking here at a deal where the books are coming down. I mean, this would be 260. This would be where Goff was if everyone was healthy and these people weren't listed as questionable and stuff like that. So we got to get in on this before it moves. So we like Baker on the over here in this one. Just one other prop for me in this. And like I said, he relies pretty heavily on Cade Otton. And so I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and play some Otton on the over at the 36.5 yards. I think Otton kind of gets peppered with targets. The tight end, Lynn Laporta, is probably going to get peppered with targets as well. The only problem why I don't want to go there, by the way, the Bucs defense is good, but they give it up over the middle of the field. So that's one of the things that we do worry about with this team. And then also the other thing we got to worry about with both of these teams, they're both just very good against the run. So not very likely that either one of these teams are going to get anything going on the ground, which is also why I like the Baker prop, which is also why I like Otton and maybe even a little Laporta stuff if you're playing the same game parlay. Both of these teams a little bit more vulnerable over the middle on the defensive side as well. But give me some Otton, give me some Baker Mayfield, and give me, like I said, if this thing gets on the other side of 6, I will be playing the Bucs side of things there in that one. In our second game, the Texans and the Seahawks again. Whoo boy, 10 Eastern for you people over on the East Coast. So stick with us here. It's going to should be a decent one. Of course, Sam Darnold playing as good as any quarterback in the NFL right now. Dude is out of his mind. These people out there, and I want to give a shout out to the people that are really good at this, compiling the data and putting them into handy dandy charts. So somebody went out there, took all the EPA information and then took all of the PFF information, smushed it together. So basically took the advanced statistics from a hardcore numbers perspective, the PFF stuff, which is a little bit more subjective, where they're watching all the plays and grading all of the stuff, put all the scores together. The number one quarterback in the NFL, Sam Darnold. You probably would have guessed it anyway, but Sam Darnold, your number one quarterback so far in the NFL. The guy has just been absolutely on fire. And yes, this is going to be his toughest defense he's gone up against so far this year. Probably because the Texans are going to be one of the toughest defenses everybody goes up against all season long. But in a matchup in which now the 3 is a very sticking number. Other side of 3, we're passing on this, right? Full disclosure, it was 2.5 when this on the open. I have a 2.5 in the account. I would still play it at 3. 3.5 is a completely different story, especially in a game with just a 41 total. Not looking to get on the other side of 3 here. So 3 is a very key number here for Seattle. But Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jigba have been able to get it going against everyone. I expect a very creative approach here to attack this Texans team and continue to have a ton of success moving the ball. Now, the other reason in all of this is mainly I just cannot trust the Texans offense at all. It is impossible to, when you look at how this team has performed so far. And I get it. There's been injuries and there's been different things, but I mean, you look at this team from a success rate perspective, 24th in the NFL over the course of this season in success rate. So basically they're always playing off schedule, behind the chains, all the things that you want to say, any of the little, words you want to use and stuff like that. And they're also not able to get any run game going. Now, I'm guessing coming out of the bye, and this is just a guess, if you want to take a shot on this, I guess you could go that way. My guess is that coming out of the bye, Nick Chubb gets less action and they start to use Woody Marks more. Now, again, this is just a guess on my part, but you can see the books are at least thinking somewhat the same, as these guys are now way, way closer as far as prop numbers go right here. Nick Chubb, fantastic story to be able to come back off all these injuries and stuff like that, but he's dust at this point. There's just nothing there. Woody Marks, you spent a draft pick on him, obviously the more explosive dude. You had the bye week to get him going a little bit more. I think we see more volume out of him. I just don't know how much success it's going to bring because of how good this defense has been on the Seattle side of things against everything. I mean, this is two really good defenses, by the way, that we see going at it in this game right here. The rush EPA per play, Seattle's 6th in the NFL over the last 4 weeks. They're 3rd overall year to date. They are number 1 in explosive rushes allowed, meaning they do not allow explosive rushes at all. They do not allow you to get chunk plays on the ground. Everything kind of has to come through the air against them. And oh, by the way, they are healthy now in the secondary. So I'm going to go with the offense that I've seen been able to score points. And so while I think this could be a little bit of a rock fight and a little bit of a lower scoring game, who do you trust more? Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith and Jigba in the offense that we have seen go out and score a bunch of points this season? Or this Texans team that we're just hoping that they figured something out over the bye week? And instead, it's this team that is, again, I told you about the success rate for this team and what they've been doing. And like early down success rate, they're 22nd in the NFL, so they're not getting anything on first down. They're always playing 2nd and long, 3rd and long, stuff like that. And these are just situations that they haven't been able to capitalize on against defenses that are worse than what Seattle is going to put out on the field. Now you bring in a better defense. How are they going to do anything there? I expect little quick hitters and stuff like that from C.J. Stroud in this game. Lots of stunt blitz, stunt pass looks and things like that from Seattle. Very creative defense too. So, I think that if you wanted to maybe even do something, completions or something like that for C.J. Stroud, because everything is just way, way, way close to the line. I guess that's a look that you could have in this one. But honestly, my only real thing I love in this game is I do love the Seahawks, but again, it's got to be at 3 or better. 3 or better. We get on the other side of 3, we can't go in that direction anymore. Guys, and this is obviously, we're doing this over here at BetMGM. If you don't have an account yet, go in, be sure, use the promo code lineups. And when you do, you're going to get up to $1,500 in bonus bets if your first bet loses. So deposit, go in, make that first bet. And if it loses, you'll get it back in bonus bets again. That's promo code lineups here at BetMGM. So quick recap here over on the NFL side of things for Monday Night Football. Like I said, really strong lean to the 6 with the Bucs. Probably will play it if it gets on the other side of 6. Certainly if it gets to 7, will be in the account no matter what. Really like Baker Mayfield in this. I like Cade Otton. If you're doing same game parlay stuff and you wanted to throw in some Laporta, which I think this Bucs team is pretty vulnerable over the middle. And if you wanted to go with some Tez Johnson, if Egbuka can't go, I think that's a really good look as well. And then here from the Texans and Seahawks, for me, it's just all about the 3 here on the Seahawks or better, and get it in there, watch this team get it done at home in a late primetime game here on a Monday night. Guys, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button here on the channel, and let's go win some money here on a Monday night. Good luck with all your bets.